Shalom, our viewers. We want to thank God. Today we are going to talk about how to build a lasting marriage. While it is great and good to stay married in a culture, it is important to be in a relationship and a marriage that keeps growing stronger and stronger. So we're going to look at how we can make our marriages stronger and stronger, how we can build lasting marriages. We know as we speak that there are many marriages that are going through some storms of life, but at the same time we know that storms come and they go and they can disappear. But there is something that you and I can do in order for those storms or those heartbreaks to go. So that's what we're going to look at this moment.
Building a lasting marriage. Psalms 127 verse 1 says, unless the Lord builds a house, those who build it, they build in vain. Yeah. I want to say having a lasting marriage is possible. The marriage institution itself was founded by God. God is the founder of marriage. So when God is kept as a part of a marriage, an important and integral part of a marriage, it's possible to build a lasting marriage. I want to start by saying 3 important things that a couple could include in their marriage if it is going to last is praying together. A couple that prays together stays together. Prayer can glue a marriage together. A couple must also learn to plan together. If a couple can plan all their things together, it can take away a lot of stress, unwanted frustrations and disappointment, also playing together. So there must be prayer, planning and playing in a couple's life. These are some of the things, but most importantly, making God an integral part of a marriage relationship.
It is also important to make sure that in your marriage or in your relationship, you trust God to lead you into an unknown future. You don't know what is there tomorrow or a month to come or the coming year. But when we trust God, God will cause us to overcome all the challenges, even before we get there. But the only challenge here is if we put God out of the equation, we cannot expect Him to intervene in our situations. I know sometimes we can say, but we have been praying, we have been fasting about the marriage, but you know what? It takes the two of you to be committed, to deal with the issues. And when you do that, your marriage can last long. If you don't commit to a lasting marriage, then it won't work. So it's very important for us as couples to realize that in our relationship, not only one part, but both of us, to say, let's commit to a long-lasting relationship. Because if one is committed to that and the other is not committed to that, it cannot again work. It takes the two of us.
There are 3 words I want to bring here when we talk about marriage. First, I talked about praying together, planning, and playing together. 3 C's. In a marriage relationship, number 1, people need to understand it's not a contract. A contract, you jump in or you can jump out when some conditions are not met. A marriage is a covenant. A covenant is something that is permanent. It's a pledge and a promise that is made between man and woman in the presence of God. So one is to enter in a marriage soberly knowing that this is permanent. That's why in part of the marriage vows we say to have, to hold, for better, for worse, till death do us part. It's not divorce, it's not irritation, it's not cheating, it's not lying, it's not poverty, it's not sickness that do us part, it's death that must do us part. So a marriage is not a contract, it's a covenant. And in that covenant, there is need for commitment. That's what I was talking about, commitment. One must be committed. Marriage is not a feeling. You may wake up feeling like not being in love. You may wake up and feel like not being married to the same person. But it's a commitment to say, I'm committed in this thing to this thing. It must work at all costs. Storms may come, tornadoes may come, earthquakes may come, but I'm committed to see this marriage work. So building a lasting relationship, it takes one to understand that it's a covenant where one is needed to to commit. And I always say to couples, we always talk about the definition of the word love. Many people have no idea what love means, because English that says love. Yeah.
Now, love in Greek, it's in original language.
Yeah.
There are 3 words that define love. There is agape,
Yes.
the good kind of love, the unconditional love, and there is what is called filial, friendly love, and there is eros, which is that intimate love. It's between the couple. Yeah, so it's very important also to know that in a relationship or in a marriage, you can be friends. And in a relationship, you can love unconditionally. And in a relationship, you need to show that intimacy in a relationship. But I want to also add and say that always in your relationship, keep communication lines open.
Yes.
Because as long as you don't keep the lines of communication open, you cannot then be able to discuss and deal with issues in your marriage and the relationship. So always the issue of communication is very important. The reason why so many challenges are happening, you hear people don't talk, they don't communicate, they ignore each other. You know, in another way, I want to say you are communicating. You are communicating. And maybe another point is that in all the things that you are doing, surround yourself with a strong support network, which is very important.
A strong support network. Because the people in your life can be responsible to break or to build your marriage. I wanted to go back to the word you mentioned and taught and defined the word love. Many people, they get married because they say we are in love. But many people have no idea what love is. People think love is a fling, it's a fantasy, it's a feeling. People think being in love is kissing, touching, hugging. It can be a part of the big word love. It can be the icing of the dessert. But love in its original language is agape, like what he said, filial and eros. Which means to say, in a real love atmosphere, there must be that unconditionality. If our marriage is to last, there must be that unconditional love to say, in a marriage relationship, you know the weakness, the limitation, the issues the baggage that your spouse carry. One should be willing enough to be humble enough, accepting enough to show their husband unconditional love, because the Bible says, while we were still sinners, yet God loved us. So a spouse can really love their spouse despite their weakness. So there's the issue of unconditional love, the issue of friendship. A couple that is a marriage that lasts must remain friends all their lives. The moment you hear people are chatting with the other people of the opposite sex on WhatsApp, on Facebook, it's because that chemistry is no longer there. So we must keep that friendship being there. And a very critical issue is the aspect of eros, intimacy. This is when we talk of the touch, we talk of sex, we talk of kiss, talk of hug, we talk of romance, we talk of spending quality time with each other. Sex alone cannot keep a marriage, but sex is an important part of a marriage. This is the erotic part of the relationship. So this is very critical indeed to keep a lasting marriage.
And also, as couples, keep dating each other. Keep dating each other. Time out with your spouse. Go for the movies. Go for just a walk. Stroll out there. Go visit some other places. The two of you, even with your family. It's very important. Don't just admire those who are doing it, your neighbors who are doing it. You can also do it. Sometimes we look at things and we think it's expensive. You know why? Because we hear so and so this family or this couple went to Durban or Cape Town for holiday. So we say, how can we manage? But you know what? You don't need to go to Durban if you cannot afford. You can go to Mkubisi Woodlands. It's very close hereby. You can go to a place that is very close to where you are, and what happens? You enjoying yourselves, seeing nature. Some animals there. That's what you need to do. Keep dating each other, like boy and the girl again.
Yeah. You don't have to go to a place to feel in love. You can create that place in your own. You can create an environment in your own home that makes you stay a marriage. You could say much about this topic, but for now, I think we are fine. Creating an environment that brings about a lasting relationship to be lasting. God bless you. Enjoy your marriage.
God bless you.